Indiana Fever preseason has officially come, and it has officially gone.
The Indiana Fever did finish the WNBA preseason undefeated.
Caitlyn Clark is launching shots from way beyond the arc, distances that almost feel illegal on a basketball court, while Lexie Hull is quietly becoming the Indiana Fever's go-to threat in the fourth quarter. As one insider put it, "I think Caitlyn Clark might have actually extended her range. She's knocking down those deep shots like it's nothing."
The Indiana Fever close out the preseason 3-0, victory against the Mystics, victory against the Brazilian national team, and another victory this afternoon against the Atlanta Dream.
In their final preseason matchup, the Fever wrapped up a flawless 3-0 run, but it didn't come without some tense moments, a concerning injury to a crucial player, and unexpected remarks from the Atlanta Dream added drama to the win. From standout performances to surprising twists, here's everything that went down in Indiana's perfect preseason finale in Atlanta. If you're hyped for the season ahead, drop a "I've got the Fever" in the comments below. Let's go.
When I watch the Fever, even when they're not at their best, one thing I can't help but think is that they're just going to run teams off the floor and destroy them with their firepower. They just have so many players that can beat you and can score. And, you know, Dewana Bonner didn't even start this game. Sophie Cunningham started in her place.
Did you know Caitlyn Clark nearly missed the Fever's final preseason game? Less than 24 hours before tip-off against the Atlanta Dream, fans were anxiously refreshing their feeds for any updates. The news caught everyone off guard. Clark had collided with a practice player during the team's last workout, taking a hit to the same leg that had already been strained earlier.
They're just doing a drill, and if you're looking what happens here. Caitlyn Clark pulls up. Caitlyn Clark pulls up immediately. And a lot of people are saying that it's not the end of the...
Picture the scene. The Fever's medical staff rushing to assess their star rookie as their unbeaten preseason record hung in the balance. With 2 wins and no losses, Caitlyn Clark now sat on the sideline, ice pack on her leg, as fans held their breath. Questions flooded social media. Was this already a sign of the toll pro basketball might take? Would she miss her final preseason game? Could this affect her debut in the regular season? The uncertainty grew by the minute.
Coach just mentioned you've been limited in practice this week. Just how are you kind of working back from that leg injury?
Yeah, I think taking my time. I feel really good, honestly, and excited to get out there and play again tomorrow, work on things that we need to work on. And yeah, Maria's been great. Our medical staff has been really helpful. But I feel really good, honestly.
Then came the update that eased every Fever fan's nerves. Clark was cleared to play. Not only would she suit up, she'd be in the starting lineup. Just like that, the injury scare shifted from a major concern to a minor footnote.
You know, there's no reason to overdo anything right now. It's been the beginning of the season. Still don't play here for another week, but the last 2 days have been really, really good for myself.
You know where it started? What caused it to get her?
I don't. Probably just a little too much basketball. I think, you know, I love being in the gym, but I think understanding like when to be in the gym and, you know, when to recover and things like that. So I think just finding a balance and obviously just getting back into the swing of things. But yeah, it was nothing major or anything like that.
Right from the opening minutes, it was obvious Clark wasn't playing it safe. She fired off shots from such deep range that defenders looked powerless to stop her. Even Sports Illustrated's WNBA analyst Robin Lundberg took notice, posting on X, "I think Caitlyn Clark may have even increased her range. She is shooting the deep ones like they are nothing."
It. So second attempt, same spot, same result for Maya Caldwell. That's Caitlyn Clark, top of the key, and drains her first triple of the...
One particular three-pointer, launched from near the logo, instantly brought back memories of her iconic shot just a week earlier at Iowa. Atlanta's defenders could do nothing but watch as the ball soared high and swished cleanly through the net. This wasn't a rookie testing the waters of the pro game. This was Caitlyn Clark making a statement. By the final buzzer, she had silenced any doubts, finishing with 13 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds in just 23 minutes.
Natasha Howard gets the bucket. Step back triple. Delphi Mitchell to the rim. Well, that's Caitlyn Clark, top of the key, and drains her triple.
As the final buzzer sounded on the Fever's 81-76 win over Atlanta, They had pulled off something remarkable, a perfect 3-0 preseason sweep. What began with a scare turned into a showcase of rising potential, setting the stage for what this team could accomplish when the regular season begins. With the game tight heading into the fourth quarter, an unexpected hero stepped up for Indiana, and it wasn't Caitlyn Clark. The spotlight turned to Lexie Hull, who had been quietly sharpening her skills all preseason and adjusting to a new bench role. It's worth remembering that Hull ended last season as a starter, becoming a dependable two-way player and one of the league's hottest three-point shooters during that stretch.
And now BG says she's rediscovered her love for the game, saying Atlanta reminds me of home. I'm back in the South, and this was the best decision of my life.
She is completely fine, just needing rest, so we will not see her for the rest of this ball game.
Yeah, we can't give out all our weapons.
Turnover as Matt Caldwell got a little too deep.
But with the arrival of new all-star free agent talent, Hull has willingly embraced a bench role this season. Yet in this game, she looked different. There was a new level of confidence in her stride and a sharpness in her decisions that stood out. This wasn't the same player we'd seen before. This was someone fully prepared to take control when it mattered most.
I think more than anything, just being able to practice with our team. We're getting a lot of good reps in practice, and I think confidence comes from that. Confidence comes from getting the reps, the game-like reps, over and over again in practice. And our team's super competitive, so every single day that we've had of training camp so far has felt pretty much game-like. Like we're all taking it very serious, and it starts in practice.
The Atlanta Dream kept coming, challenging the Fever on every possession and threatening to hand them their first preseason loss. The tension in the arena was rising. Would Indiana's perfect run come to an end? That's when Hull stepped up and took control. When the team needed points the most, she answered with surgical efficiency. She weaved through defenders as if the gaps were made just for her, and pulled up for contested mid-range shots like the pressure didn't exist. One standout moment came when she split two Dream defenders and glided to the rim for a smooth, confident layup.
It's like, nah, shoot that thing when you open.
Lexie Hull getting downhill, finds the bucket and one, as this will be the largest lead for Indiana.
Her influence stretched far beyond just scoring. Hull's defensive pressure disrupted Atlanta's offense, forcing turnovers and creating fast break opportunities. Her court awareness helped set up teammates for easy buckets, and the Dream had no response to her relentless play in the final moments. After the game, Coach Stephanie White shared some insights into Hull's growth that tied everything we had just seen together. When you accept your role like Lexie does, you can't let it put you in a box, White explained, emphasizing how Hull had fully embraced her responsibilities while continuing to expand her game.
Lexie's playing with such a high level of confidence. You saw that the second half of last season, her starting to grow into that. I think you saw it a lot in Unrivaled as well. It unlocked, I think, a little bit of creativity. I think sometimes when you're a young player in this league, when you accept your role, as Lexie does, you can't allow it to put you in a box, right? Like your role can change throughout the course of a season. Your role can change throughout the course of career.
White highlighted Hull's growth and creativity and the team's growing trust in her decision-making. She's done a really good job of putting herself in position for that, the coach added, clearly pleased with Hull's evolution. As for Hull, she attributed her fourth quarter heroics to the competitive atmosphere in practice. Confidence comes from getting the reps, the game-like reps, over and over again in practice, she explained. Hull also credited her experience winning a championship in the highly competitive 3-on-3 league for honing her defensive abilities and one-on-one skills.
It's going to be an exciting season. I think more than anything, we're a deep team, and I think everyone's really bought into trusting the process. This season, it might not start off super pretty, but we know that putting in the work, putting in, trust into the coaching staff, trusting each other, that by the end of the season we'll be exactly where we want to be. So just excited, with the progress we've made even over just 3 games.
By the final buzzer, Hull had gone from a supporting player to a game changer, scoring 11 of her 14 points in that crucial fourth quarter to seal the win. The official stats tell the tale. Her scoring efficiency under pressure was key in closing out the game when the Fever needed it most. Her performance wasn't just impressive, it could significantly alter the dynamic of the Fever's rotation as they head into the regular season.
Lexie does, you can't allow it to put you in a box, right? Like your role can change throughout the course of a season, your role can change throughout the course of career. So you want to be able to stretch and expand. And I think Lexie's done a really good job putting herself in position for that, running actions for her, allowing her to decision make. Hell, I think in the Washington game, we had her playing some point. So it's a tribute to the work that she's put in, the confidence that she's built with her discipline and work ethic in the off season. And you trust her on the floor. You trust her to make the right play and make the right read.
With Hull's rise as a reliable clutch performer off the bench, the Fever suddenly looked far deeper than many had anticipated. In just one game, Hull may have gone from being a key contributor to an exclamation point in Indiana's mission to make waves this season. However, the game wasn't without its tense moments, one of which highlighted a side of Caitlyn Clark that fans always hope to avoid. Midway through the second quarter, Clark found herself at the center of attention for something other than her incredible shooting. She was called for a technical foul, a moment that revealed just how fiercely competitive she truly is.
12-3 run, as they are now just down 1 point.
Picture this. Clark attempts a bounce pass that gets intercepted by the Dream, leading to a quick fast break layup by Atlanta's Brianna Jones. Clark clearly believed there should have been a foul called on the play, and her frustration boiled over. She threw the ball against the stanchion after Jones scored. The referee wasted no time. Technical foul on Clark, her first of the preseason. What happened next spoke volumes about the chemistry already building within the Fever. Sophie Cunningham, known for her own competitive fire, quickly stepped in as the voice of reason. As Clark continued to argue with the officials, Cunningham pulled her away from the situation before it could escalate. She essentially became the veteran protector, ensuring that her star teammate didn't dig herself into a deeper conflict with the refs.
Cunningham actually stepped on somebody's foot and turned her ankle and had to leave the game.
Here's where things get interesting. After playing peacekeeper for Clark, Cunningham faced her own challenge. In the third quarter, she went up for a rebound, but landed awkwardly on Rain Howard's foot. As soon as she came down, it was clear something was wrong. Cunningham dropped to the court before hopping to the Fever's bench, visibly in pain. The injury was later identified as a right ankle issue, and she was listed as doubtful to return.
Hopefully the Fever are fully healthy going into that game. Hopefully Sophie Cunningham is good to go in that game. I know she was seen in a walking boot afterwards, but that's typical. It clearly wasn't a serious injury, but it doesn't mean it's going to be healthy a week from today either.
Fever fans held their breath. Would this injury affect the team's regular season plans? Coach Stephanie White eased some of those concerns in her post-game comments, sharing that Cunningham had said, "I'll be fine." White also mentioned that Cunningham was already in a cold tub post-game, indicating that the team was taking immediate steps toward recovery. However, no immediate testing was done on the ankle, leaving some uncertainty as the season opener approached.
I don't think so. She was in there getting it in a cold tub, so she keeps saying I'll be fine, so I trust her.
Despite moments of tension and concern, the game also showcased remarkable displays of sportsmanship, reminding us what makes certain teams special. Before and after the final buzzer, players from both teams shared genuine moments of respect. Hugs and conversations between competitors highlighted that fierce competition on the court doesn't prevent real connections off it. One particularly meaningful exchange caught on camera was between Clark and Brittney Griner. Though they barely shared court time during the game, the two stars embraced warmly afterward. Fans took notice and appreciated the moment, with one commenting, "Great respect from Clark and Griner." These small gestures play a significant role in building the league's culture. The technical foul incident underscored both Clark's intense competitive spirit and the team's protective chemistry. We saw a player who cares deeply about winning and refuses to back down, supported by veterans who know when to step in and guide that passion. Meanwhile, Cunningham's injury raised legitimate concerns about her availability for the season opener against Chicago.
We did a better job of taking care of the ball in the second half. I was disappointed that we had 10 first half turnovers. A lot of them were trying to force things that just weren't there. I didn't feel like we were patient enough to get into our offense. So we did a better job of taking care of the ball. I always love when we have a high assist to made field goal ratio. I think we're going to find a lot of success when that happens for us. Quality depth, they came in and made impact, no doubt. And being able to, hold a team to 34% from the field. All points of emphasis for us. And even though it's not always that pretty, it's progress, and that's what we need.
These moments of drama and sportsmanship painted a complete picture of what makes the WNBA special. Fierce competition balanced with genuine respect. The Fever proved they have the firepower to compete at the highest level while still upholding the class and sportsmanship that foster positive relationships across the league. Fans saw not just individual talent, but a team beginning to form a strong identity, competitive, passionate, and respectful of both the game and their opponents. The preseason is over, and the Indiana Fever just put the entire WNBA on notice with their perfect 3-0 record. But what does this flawless run truly tell us about what's ahead? It's not just about winning exhibition games. It's about catching a glimpse of something special taking shape in Indiana, way ahead of schedule. The chemistry between Clark, Hull, Boston, Mitchell, and the rest of the roster has been almost effortless at times. The real question now is whether this momentum will survive the harsh realities of the regular season. Teams across the league have been studying film, particularly focusing on Clark, and developing specialized defensive schemes to disrupt her rhythm and limit her impact.
Obviously, you want to win. I think winning it gives you a different kind of vibe, a different kind of feel. But more than anything, we want to see growth. We want to see how we're able to utilize our depth. We want to continue to see different combinations, different lineups, what it looks like. And we want to see application of things that we've done in practice.
The Fever's first real test comes on May 17th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse against the Chicago Sky, a nationally televised game on ABC that everyone will be watching. The Sky present immediate challenges with their defensive strategies, likely focusing on denying Clark the ball and jumping screens to throw off her rhythm. There's also the uncertainty surrounding Sophie Cunningham's ankle injury from the Atlanta game. While Coach White mentioned that Cunningham herself said, "I'll be fine," and was already in the cold tub post-game, her availability for the season opener remains in question. Still, her attitude speaks volumes about this team's resilience.
Sophie's so fun to play with. She has a different energy about her, something you can't teach, something you can't tell people to act like, because you either have that or you don't. And being able to play with her, you feed off of that, and she feeds off the crowd feeds off her, so it's super fun. And I'm very grateful to get to play alongside her.
One of the most intriguing developments has been the connection between Clark and Hull. Their chemistry in the game against Atlanta showed flashes of what could evolve into one of the league's most dangerous offensive combinations.
Yeah, just giving a different kind of look and seeing what we might be able to do from that standpoint with Sophie's energy in the starting lineup and with DB's production coming off the bench. So, we'll probably continue throughout the course of the week tinkering a little bit. But preseason gives us a good opportunity to see what we like, because it's important to have a good starting group and it's important to have energy out and production off the bench.
What makes this Fever team truly special isn't just their star power, it's the emerging depth. Hull's development exemplifies this perfectly. The role players are proving they belong on the big stage, creating a rotation that might be deeper than anyone expected heading into the season. The Fever still need to refine certain areas. Coach White emphasized that they're starting to really build layers into their offensive attack and defensive coverages, suggesting that there's still significant growth potential ahead.
The growth process or the growth edge for young competitive players is how you channel your energy, right? Like Tamika Catchings was the same way as a young player. You're fiery, you're competitive, and so being able to channel it in a way that is positive, for her and for our team, and it's part of growing, right? It's part of growing in this league.
While no one's planning a championship parade just yet, this preseason showed exactly why the future in Indiana looks brighter than it has in years. The foundation is clearly in place for something special to happen, perhaps sooner than anyone anticipated. This perfect preseason sweep reveals something brewing in Indiana. Is it too early to talk about a dynasty? Maybe, but the pieces are there. The star power of Clark, the emerging confidence of Hull, and the chemistry that usually takes years to build. When the Fever face the Chicago Sky on May 17th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on ABC, they'll carry more than just momentum. They've faced adversity together, injury scares, technical fouls, tough moments, and came through unscathed. The real question isn't whether this Fever team will make noise in 2025. The question is just how loud that noise will be. If you're excited for the season to start, comment, "I've got the Fever" down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.